What does it really take to be a pro player? Is it instinct, endless reps, a different way of thinking? Because somehow they just see things we don't. They play faster, cleaner, more precise. Like they're 5 turns ahead, and we're just stuck reacting. So, how big is the gap? Are they really that much better? Or is this game just broken? We're diving into the mindset, breaking down the decisions, and finding out once and for all if it really is just a skill issue. So, what is it about brand that you enjoy?
One thing I like about Brand is that it's a very tempo heavy shroud, right? So we can like fight for the board. But then there are cards in the deck that allows you to like play the late game. So like you have like early game stuff, mid game stuff, and also like you can go to long game. So it's like a deck that kind of covers it all. Like in a meta where if Brand happens to be relatively good, like in a meta where tempo is good, Brand can probably find a way in, or in a meta where like slower decks is good, Brand is able to like get values and like combo shit out like in the late game, you know. That's what I
Mm.
like about it.
Is there anything with brand that you see that casual players or even professional players that possibly get like they either play him wrong or they're just not playing him the correct way or the more optimized way?
I think from my experience with Brand, I realized that some people they tend to either play too much for the late game or too much for the early game because like sometimes like for example when you can have the play to like pressure your opponent out, like some people will not take the line and they just try to go slow, and then that will lead to them like not giving enough pressure to the opponent and then give them the time to like do stuff, right? When you can just like win the game early, or like sometimes some people will like overcommit into an aggro push or something, and then you'll have like nothing for like the mid to late game, and then they will like lose in like the attrition game, you know.
So in the current meta
All right, sure.
of Parallel, we have embedded agents, dark repose, we have Cyrene. Is that kind of like the route? I know that's kind of the route in New Dawn, but in brand, are you trying to do a lot of removal? Is it more unit based?
Yeah. So one thing I do not like to have in Brand is the Dark Repose because unlike New Dawn, Brand doesn't really do that one damage thing as much, right? Because like for example, New Dawn has the Raider, the 1 mana 1/2,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they also have like the New Dawn's passive ability. When something comes back, it shoots 1 damage randomly, right? So like those are ways that it can activate Dark Repose. But for Brand, it doesn't really have much of that. So I wouldn't say that Dark Repose is that good. So one thing I like is like going for, yeah, like as you mentioned, early units. So like of course units like embedded agent, singularity stewards that are very swingy, right? Or like Baron, Void Trapper. And one thing for this meta I like is Estos Glaive. That
Mm.
some people may not really like too much, but Estos Glaive is pretty good in like like uh in the tempo like against like CPS and all, because you can always point it out. So I mean you only it out, take it or leave it. Because it's like a very important, take it or leave it is like a very important card in Brand. Yeah. So like in general you're always gonna play like 3 take it or leave it, right? So having Estos there, like it gives you an alternative of something to take it or leave it out. Especially in this meta where people are running genetic correction, solitary confinement, like stuff that can remove Brand. Because Estos Glaive have shielded, right? It kinda is that one thing that can quite that you can afford to point out without the really the fear of that specific answer sometimes.
So in brand, it's more so just kind of like building a board and eliminating units rather than like in Neve or New Dawn, you're kind of just like counterplaying most of the game. Like brand's more tempo heavy, like where they're actually trying to take control of the board. Is that kind of the style of brand?
Yeah, I would say so because one thing one combo I really like about Brand is you can take a look at like Unseen Allies, the card Unseen Allies. So one thing I like about Unseen Allies is that because it brings stuff back from the singularity, right? So what one thing we can really do is like we fight for the board, take a lot of good trades, and then with Brand's passive, you get to like buff the stuff in your singularity, giving them more attacks, right? So Unseen Allies will be able to allow you to spawn like so many big attack units, right? Like you have cards that can banish your opponent's like early game, like for example, there are 1 drops or there are 2 drops. So Unseen Allies allows you to bring back like big units, right? So if you put enough pressure in the early game, even one of those units sticking is probably enough to like, deliver like, little, like close to little, stuff like that. And yeah, that's the main thing I like about it.
Cool.
About like going
How
full
many are we
tempo
running?
and aiming and all that.
How many unseen are we running?
Okay, so for this, honestly, personally, I'm a 3 unseen person, but most of the people that I know would say it's like 2 copies right now.
So what's the argument for wanting to run 3 unseen allies rather than 2? That you say that most people run. Like, why do you want to run 3?
Uh, okay, so here's the thing about Unseen Allies. It's a very strong card in the late game or sometimes even in the mid game, right? But if you draw it in like your early game hand, because of the banking mechanic in Parallel, which is a very big mechanic, so because of the banking mechanic, sometimes if you see an Unseen Allies in your early game hand, you have no choice. Like you always have to bank it. But it's such a valuable card in the late game that you kind of want to run 3 in the case where if you end up banking one, end up discarding one, you always have like backups, Because if you draw it early, if you play 2 and you happen to bank one and you only have one left, it might not be enough sometimes. But if you run 3 and you end up drawing one and banking it, right, you still have a potential to have 2 more. Of course, like increases your chance of drawing it early, but like and that's what the banking mechanic is for, right? Like you can just bank your bad cards in some sense. Like Unseen Allies is considered a bad card in the early game. So if you draw it, just bank it. If you have 3 copies of it, you have like more late game presence in some sense, right? The typical staples that we'll always see is Life Siphon and like a few of the other Shroud staples, right? Like the one that every Shroud runs, Singularity Stewards, Baron. Brand
Really,
Expertise is also a very good card drop.
Baron to me would be something I would think is not running Brand just because of its ability.
One thing that you can think about that's pretty insane. It doesn't happen often, but it's pretty insane. Is that like imagine on a turn like you play Baron on 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your opponent doesn't like play no stitching or anything on it, and then you on turn 3 you are planning to possibly coin like take it or leave it out a Estos or something like that, right? Like you want to take it or leave it Estos, and then Baron 0 happen to give you another take it or leave it, and then your Keoli Estos end up becoming a Keoli brand, which is like on paper in some matchup way stronger, right? It's a side thing. Another thing about the zeros you can get off Baron is that you know about all the caches, right? All the bounty caches.
Mm-hmm.
They are free card draw essentially. So you're paying 2 mana for brand as a 2/4, which is already a very good stat line, right? It fights for tempo pretty well as a 2/4. Uh, when you play like no snitching on an enemy's unit, like for example in the Shroud Mirror you play on a Void Trapper, or in the against Erden you play against on the Singularity Steward, right? If you happen to get like a bounty cache, you you will draw a card. Like it's just a free card draw in some sense, right? If you get for 0.
Yeah.
Or like there are other high rolls that we can think about, but if I go down a list of high rolls, this video is gonna take like hours,
No, well, just the
So,
fact that you touched on the
that's why
Tioli and just being a
that's kind of
0,
why.
that's that one's huge. Like I would have never thought to play Tioli and like hope for either another one or even get a cash as well. What else? So do we do Brand's Expertise? I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah, I will definitely add brand expertise in, but this one there is a world that will cut it down later on, like because there has been lists that I run in the past that didn't have brand expertise because I wanted to go like full tempo,
Yeah.
but we'll like see how
Whatever
things
your
go.
list is, whatever the list you want to run, like I don't want you to give away your like pro, secret decks, but like whatever list like that, like you're like that's a list I would run. That's what I want. I want your list. I don't want the basic list. I want the Hogvax special.
In terms of staples, let's get to the main staples like Void Trapper, right?
Gotta run 3 of those, right?
You gotta have Void Trapper in. Erase well. Yep, for sure.
Erasure, yeah. What about Cyrus, the new Battle
So
Pass
what
card?
for me personally, I have not tested with Cyrus yet, but I've had people who told me that even in brand they like to run one Cyrus, but I have not done any testing with that. So and from the list I see myself running, the only time I see Cyrus being very impactful is like you play a 2 drop on 2, you hit your opponent's unit on 3, and then you play Cyrus on 3, right? Like other than that, I do not really see a world because Brand doesn't really do, like as I mentioned, doesn't really do 1 damage to a unit or damage units as easily as Neudon can.
All right, then we'll
So
just
personally, I wouldn't for
okay.
now.
All right, we'll skip it then.
So
What is your thought on treacherous scheming? Because there's some people that I see run max and brand, and there's some people that I see either run like 2 or maybe even 1. Is it treacherous scheming something we want to
okay,
do in
so
brand?
here's the thing about treacherous scheming is that it is it's a very good card, right? We all know it's a very good card, but one thing is not a tempo card,
Hmm.
right? It's not a very strong tempo card. It's a very good card if you were to play against in the Shroud Mirror or like slower matchups where you want to go the long game. But if you're playing like against aggro, treacherous scheming is almost always a bank, right? If you're playing against CPS, when you see your hand, you're almost always banking it. So that's the problem with like scheming in brand, right? Is
Yeah,
because your deck is not exactly made to withstand all the aggression as strong as like Leaf can because of Dominion. So I would say personally, I still like scheming, so I like to do two. But some people, yeah, like if you're in a tournament setting, some people if they are not planning to bench Shroud or Erden, they're planning to bring Brand just to beat Shroud a little bit more. They'll always play 3 schemings. But if you're like planning to play on mainly focusing on the tempo matchups, you're of course gonna cut scheming down to 1. I don't ever see the way it goes to 0, but 2 is for sure a good number. So next up we need Malia, and
of course.
next up I think personally because of the researcher nerf, I like having Spectre Attack Craft instead.
Really?
Because it's also another good unit to Theoli out on 2, right? Like if you do not like if your matchup you know your opponent runs a lot of like brand removal, like things that can answer brand. Sometimes just Theoli out or Spectre Attack Craft on 2 is like really strong, right? Because on turn 2 you're playing out a 3-4 is really a very big swing sometimes.
Okay. So 2 is 2 good, or you want
Yep, it's
3?
fate for sure. Definitely not 3. Definitely not
Okay.
3. Because it's a very situational card as well, yeah. Like some people will even argue not to play at all.
So
Okay,
what about Void
so
Keeper? Because to me, I would want to run. I mean, I know it's one cost more, but to me, as a casual, I would think I would want to run like more Void Keepers than I would Spectre Attack Crafts.
the thing about Void Keeper is that in the parallel meta, everyone's basically playing 3 copies of No Snitching, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you no snitch on Void Keeper, essentially have a 4 mana 1/6, right? Spectre Attack Craft have a decent stat line of 3/4, so like no snitching isn't really too annoying of an answer. Like you rather see a no snitching than an actual removal, right? Void Keeper is very vulnerable to no, and I mean most of your deck is kind of like no snitching bait, right? Like it is the bait no snitching quite a bit. But personally, Void Keeper is really a personal choice kind of thing. Personally, I don't really like it because when I remember back then when I made my other short list in the past, I always give my practice partners the same debate. It's like I rather run Estel's Glaive or Void Keeper. Like choose one, not both.
Okay.
It's like there's too many fours if you do it in some sense. Because you do not really want to develop a 4-drop on 4 most of the time. Sometimes you just want to get Theoli brand or like some like basically you want to do a big ass swing turn instead of like having 4 mana 1/6, right? Like if you're playing a tempo wise, because Vault Keeper is a very good like value like card draw generator, very good engine and everything, but it doesn't provide too much in terms of pressure. Like it it forces removal, that's for sure, but it doesn't threaten face damage. Expected attack craft kind of does threaten face damage, and most of the time your turn 4, you probably wouldn't want to be playing a 4-drop on 4 because you rather have a lot of other plays, unless you really low roll and it's your only option. It's the reason why I wouldn't play it.
Does one more thing about Void Keeper with Brand's ability, right? So like every time you, one of the main things with Brand or why we're playing Brand is every time Brand destroys an enemy, he buffs his units in the singularity. Correct. So I guess with Void Keeper, that doesn't
Yep.
happen when Void Keeper attacks, right? So they're kind of like where Spectral Trapcraft, if you destroy a unit with Spectral Trapcraft, you're buffing your units in your singularity. Where Void Keeper is just banishing it, so it's not even giving it buff. All
Yep.
it is removing it. So
We can talk about Triumph of Loss first, I
yeah,
guess. Triumph of Loss is like, to me, it's a 1x in Brand, but the only reason why it's a 1x in Brand is because it's the same logic with Void Keeper, right? Like, you do not really want to spend your turn 5 playing Triumph as often as, like, it does compared to developing. But you cannot cut it out completely because Triumph of the Lost is still a very good card. Not having it is like, it's honestly kind of troll, in my opinion. Like,
okay.
having too many is a bit scary for me. It can be a 2x, but looking at the number of cards we have, honestly, 33 or 30, 33 or 40, and we haven't even gotten past all the Shroud cards. There's no way we can fit in more than one, you know?
Yeah. What about Sacred Siphoner? Wouldn't Sacred Siphoner be a good ad? You get to pull something from the
Uh,
singularity.
okay, from my perspective, it is definitely not the thing I put in my deck because we already run 3 Unseen Allies, right? So that is the singularity, like the amount of touching in the singularity that we kind of need already. Siphoner is like, it is a good card. Like, I do like Siphoner as a card. I just don't think it's as strong in Brand as it is as a like in Neve. Because I did play Siphoner in Neve before, but I have like never played Siphoner in Brand since like last year. Like, it's been so long since I played Siphoner in Brand. It just doesn't feel so smooth to curve out the Siphoner on 5.
Are we running
Yeah, so
Salvation?
it's a must have in my opinion for Brand.
Must have. Why
It
is
is a
it? Why
must
is it
have
a must have?
because in Brand they have the 4/4s in the singularity, right? The corrupted. If you play Unseen Allies 1 turn and then you develop a bunch of corrupteds, right? Salvation heals you for like 1 HP for each corrupted, right? So those are included in that as well, right? Like, as well as like Salvation is just a very good tempo and value card as well. Because if your opponent has a relatively decent sized board, or like if they have decent sized units, Salvation is just 6 mana 4/5 and get a copy of their biggest guy, essentially, right? For free. You can play their biggest guy for free. So like if they have like against Erden, for example, if they have Moon okay, not Moonlit. Okay, actually Moonlit can be something. If they have Moonlit or they have
Jonah
Terra
or
Glider.
yeah,
Terra Glider
Terraglider.
is huge, of course. Yeah, Terra Glider is huge. Uh Against like tempo matchup wise, like Cipius, I mean it's not that strong into Cipius, but of course the extra heal from the Salvation's ability or the extra like damage that can go to the face from this ability could be the extra reach or the extra heal that you need to kind of survive to your demo turn. And it is a very good tempo swing, right? Like it fights for the board very well because it develops like a 4/5 shielded that kind of has to be cleared, as well as another relatively big unit depending on what's the situation.
All right, cool. All right, then well, we need demos, right? Three or
Yep, demo is a 3x for me.
three
It's
X.
100% a 3x for me,
I've
but
seen many run two, so
there's
I'm
an issue
interested
with
why.
there's a very big issue with it. Yeah, so I can talk about this. So here's the reason why people play 2x. It's because of Sitius. It's not because of Sitius, it's because of Catty, right? Because against like this kind of faster decks, having extra demos doesn't do anything because you're always banking it. You need to survive the early game. Against Scipius, it can get down to the like demo being very important. It can, but most of the time you're dead before that happens, right? So that's kind of why people cut it down to 2, and it's also due to space. But what I like about demo is that it is strong into Shroud. It is a must-have 3. You have to have 3 against Leaf. You kind of have to have it against Erden as well. So personally, if you're talking about a rank game point of view, I like having 3 demos, 100% in
Okay.
terms of rank. And of course, with having 3 unseen allies, you kind of have to have 3 demos, because demo is like the best to fuel your rarity, right? Everything is the one that most stuff on average. So like that's kind of why it's like if you run 2 unseen, I can see going to 2 demos, but as a 3 unseen player, I like 3 demos. I'm a very like late game focused player. I play for like the late game quite a lot. Even though Brand it is a tempo deck, I do think of all those like late game swing turns. Okay, now we're getting to the tough part because we're like running low on space and there's
We
a
have
lot
3
of
cards.
neutral cards to add in, honestly.
Yeah. All right. We'll just rapid
Yeah.
fire these
So
ones. What are we
for
adding?
sure we need those we need no snitching. For sure we need no snitching.
No stitching?
That's the thing. We need no snitching. Personally, I will put 2x first.
Okay.
It could be bumped up to 3x depending on what we cut later.
Okay.
We definitely need relic remover. So for Brand, compared to the other 2 shots, right? I think we are all aware that New Dawn and Leaf plays collateral damage, but I'm very confident that having Saboteur is better for Brand.
Okay.
Because it is still a unit, right? Like you rather have the body. Oh, something to talk about that I do not like to play in my list, but it's something that to consider is Stabilize Shark. Yeah, Stabilize Shark.
Just
Because
to
this
get
card,
early tempo or just
like
to get
on
late
paper,
game?
it gets your brand out faster.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people like to play it. Like Lambie is one of those people who talk about him still liking it for a while. Like right now he's not playing brand, but there was a period where after I cut Shard, I had this conversation with like a few pros and they still say they kept Shard in the deck. The reason why I don't like it is because if you have Baron or Void Trapper or like Hearth in your hand or something like that, you always want to play those over playing Shard, right? Because Shard is like it doesn't really do okay unless you have 1 TOD in hand, you want to quickly get out brand. But I feel like that's like very all in. And personally, I'm not a very big fan of playing Shard because against aggro, you don't need it. Against lower matchups, you just want to kind of get like value with like trappers, Spectre, Techcraft, and all that. But I will play Hearth for sure. I'll play Hearth. We can talk about Trusty Belt as well.
Oh yeah, that's like
yeah
the brand special.
Neutral cards.
Right?
There's a lot of neutral cards. So yeah, for me it's a 2x because back then there was a period that I actually ran 3x because the win condition against a lot of quick matchups, right, was getting your brand out very early and just Trusty Belting it. But right now, I think brand is not as big of a win con because of all the answers they can have. So like Trusty Belt being 2x makes sense because it can be used on your trappers, it can be used on your Spectre Attack Craft, and best of all, it can be used on your Astos and Brand, right? So 2x is always like the good middle ground for me. Like if you can't decide between 1 or 3, just go for 2, you know?
Well, there's one card I think we could add that's new, and that's probably Cyrene. That's what I would assume, like Cyrene's mega in brand, huh?
100%.
Yeah.
The standard 2/5 drops, you know, Cyrene and Wong.
Yeah,
The
well,
standard 2/5 drops.
what are we getting first? Kathy.
We kind of have to know how to play a matchup as well,
Exactly.
right? So just from seeing Cathy, you know it's an aggro deck. So a typical win condition against the aggro, like this hand is pretty good, right?
At your
So
service.
personally, in this matchup I want to get my brand out as soon as possible, right?
So
You always
keep
want to find brand and belt. So even right now, I'll throw my Hearth away. Personally, I'll even throw my Hearth away here.
What about Siphon? Are we keeping Siphon?
Yeah, no, I'll keep my Siphon because you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the idea is, okay. Wow, this is actually tough. I will throw Erasure away, trying to look for another 0. I would personally throw Snitching away, honestly, just to look for a Teoli because
we want to get Hearth.
you kind of want to get the brand out or Estos out as soon as possible, right? Okay, this is actually pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey,
I'm not gonna lie. This is pretty solid.
it's that pro player luck. So as a casual player, I would just siphon this right away. Is that something you would do, or would you wait on 2 to get the steward?
Okay, so here's what I think about in this situation, right, is that if you're a Catty, what is your best play? If you're a Catty, your best play is probably 1 into 1+1, right?
Mhm.
So if you do 1 into 1+1, that makes you have 3 units, right? So honestly, as crazy as it sounds, I would bank the Adira because it's bad. It's pretty bad in this matchup right now, right? And play the 0-3. Because if your opponent happens to do a 1+1, you can follow up with a Siphon into Void Trapper, which is a very big swing turn. Like
Oh.
it makes their best play weaker. And if they do any other play, your Siphon kind of cleans it up anyways, unless they do snitching on your Steward, right? Which you could still do the same play, just do not get a Steward buff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I would have never thought of that.
Because if you Siphon here right away, right, and your opponent plays 1 into 1,
A debt must
like
be
number 1
paid.
and 2, you kind of have a Void Trapper of 2 follow-up. Okay, that's the literal like 1 punish, right? Like 1 big punish of this.
It was the hard.
But it's still fine because right now we can still do the Siphon. Like we can bank the Trapper and do a Siphon, and then we can attack that into the half, right? So we can always kill half the turn after without like really stressing too much. Like even though them playing half on 2 looks very scary, like if we siphoned on 1 and Trapper on 2, of course it will look stronger in this situation, right? But doing the Steward play kind of plays around more stuff.
No, yeah, that I
So-
like that analysis right there because that's something I wouldn't have thought of. I would have definitely probably either siphoned or maybe waited till 2. I don't think I ever would have put 2 on the same one.
Okay, now this is scary. Now this is scary.
Ours to take.
Okay, now we need to gamble.
What's the gamble?
Now we really need to gamble. So we'll bank demo and play the attack craft. And then we just hope that his Catty on 4 does not hit the attack craft.
Spectre crew.
Like for once you want the Catty to hit your face, basically.
For once.
Like you really want the Catty to hit your face right now. Like his best play probably is Catty, right? Probably.
Oh, it's not playing it.
Because it's the
PSA.
damn. Okay. That's actually possibly way scarier. Okay, if he does not get a gunslinger from this, I think we're good. If he gets a gunslinger, the hell is that doing in the deck? The hell is that doing?
You could
Okay,
trade
now we are
that.
in a.
Ours to take.
Oh, he's going double face. Okay.
Would you?
Damn, now this-
So would you just Brand's expertise or Eclipse Fate? I mean, like these two,
Damn, you know.
kill hard.
Okay, honestly, with that draw, okay, because he's gonna be doing a lot of damage to you, right? So, okay, first thing to do is we draw first, right? So we attack the half and we draw a card. Because the half always has to die. Like looking at the texture of our hand, we always have to do that.
Oh, I didn't know it does this now. Draw a card.
No, it has always done. Yeah, we always draw a card. Yeah.
No, it's never done that where
He
I
has
get to draw
Siphon,
from
I'll
the
play King,
singularity. That's new, isn't it?
No, if you review an upgrade from your opponent's bank,
Oh, is that
Can-
what it is? Oh, see, I didn't know that. You can draw from the singularity. I guess we could have drawn card division.
okay, now this is a very, very tough turn, right? Because if we just Eclipse Fate right now and trade, we kind of have like nothing on the turn after, right? I mean, we kind of do.
We can play Erasure.
What I like is I would bank the Trapper, honestly, because we don't know what other relics he have, right? You never know. And I would play Eclipse Fate. I would play Eclipse Fate for sure over here. Yeah. And then my follow-up on the next turn is probably going to be a Saboteur coin erasure, right? That's probably the
Saboteur
follow-up.
coin
It's either
erasure.
that or we
Saboteur
probably
coin
play
erasure,
Brand.
okay.
It's one of the two.
So you only had 2. So
Okay,
you
Siren
had
is pretty
3.
solid actually. Siren is pretty solid right now actually. Like not on the next turn, but like it's okay. Honestly,
Wow.
now that is like the one thing I did not want to see. But then again, that's with the die hand, right? Okay, now we're in a very tough spot, but he does not have any cards in hand. So, honestly, it's just Sabo coin erasure. That's for sure, right? Sabo bang the unseen allies probably. Yeah, you probably bang the unseen allies, and then you coin the erasure on the cat, and just hope that he breaks so that your Siren like kind of clears up the board the next turn, right? Because right now, if his Venomman end up hitting your Saboteur, your Siren cooks it, right? And if the Venomman hits face, it's even better because Siren can trade into the Venomman.
Yeah.
You just
And
need to hope
trade
for
and
him to
kill.
break. Like, okay, this is one thing I would like to talk about. Most players, like most casuals, do not think about, I want to hope for my opponent to break. Like, they're always thinking of, like, what play can I make, right? But they never thought of, like, if they have it, they win the game. So, what's my best play if he doesn't have it? You know?
Wait a minute. What? So now we just play Cyrene, right?
I think he messed it up.
I think he did too.
Okay, I guess we have a clear. Yeah, now we just play Siren, yeah? Yep. Personally, I would just bank the brand expertise because Wong is probably, in my head, Wong is probably the only card sword that we did. Actually, no. Okay, do you think he has another relic? That's the thing. Do you think he has
I don't
another
think
relic?
so because the other relic is gone.
I think it's unique happy, right? So chances are there's probably no more relics. So I will bank Sabo and play the 0-3, I guess.
Yeah.
The reason I play at 0-3 is because you want to have another unit on board. So in the case that if you play Wong, there's a chance that it can buff a unit on board. Because if Siren sticks on the board, you probably win regardless. So we think of a scenario where if Siren dies, right? And a thing to add on, if he plays Sandrillan here, if you did not play the 0-3, he could Sandrillan and hit face, and it guarantees a 2 damage to the Siren. But if you play this right now and he plays Sandrillan, there is a 50-50 chance for him to miss the 2 damage shot. Because
Okay.
if he hits the Stewie, there's a chance he hits face for 2. If he hits face, there's a chance he hits the Stewie for 2.
True.
So like it kind of makes Siren, makes his Sandrillan a little bit more awkward. But in return, you kind of make his own Siren stronger, right? Because his Siren can hit your 0-3 now and shoot to the 5-2. So it's like either or, like whether would you rather make his Sandrillan more awkward or the Siren more awkward? But personally, I like playing the 0-3 because it covers more stuff.
No. Totally makes sense. I don't know if he's mad or what. Maybe he just
I think he's just tilted.
So we play Wong here.
Okay, now we just do the. Yep, we won for sure. Now it's time to put the pressure on to him.
Open for business.
Ideally, the Wong buffs the set. Ooh,
Malia,
shit. Okay,
Trusty Bell.
the unit is is guaranteed,
Erasure.
and honestly, any of them works. But I will go for Erasure because of like big units, right?
Oh, and a buff.
Okay, that's so good.
And then Brand's expertise, or do you want the attack?
I will bang. Okay, I will keep that. Actually, I will bang the attack craft, yes. Because in the case if we need to Malia, we can always brand Malia, right? So I rather just draw more cards here, looking for faster ways to kill him, essentially, right?
So we're drawing as well.
Yeah, I'll just draw.
No
Yeah,
kickback,
I
obviously.
guess we're drawing last. Yep, we're drawing.
Easy
Yeah.
peasy.
Nice.
I still think you
Like,
said a lot
it
of
showed-
valuable stuff that like is
The mulligan
is
really
huge.
matters.
Yeah, and I think a lot of things you mentioned were like, oh yeah, like
Yeah,
for the Kathy, like, hey, you have to get lucky, or you have to hope he breaks, like, which yeah, most casuals don't think of, right? So
yeah. Because there are some situations where like you're always gonna lose if they have it. So like play as if he doesn't have it. Like I've done that quite a lot in the tournaments I play as well. Like okay, against Organ Core, okay, this is like one that's pretty interesting to see because this is probably a deck that runs Solitary Confinement. Whether it's normal Organ or Uni, they probably run Solitary Confinement. So it's probably gonna be a good matchup to talk about.
yeah, my guess is it's probably Uni Workshop, but we'll see. Yeah, and if it's Uni, it's probably even more so. You don't really want to play Brand just in case, or late anyway. You don't want to play Brand late.
Workshop online.
So I don't think we need these.
Okay, honestly, in this matchup, I would throw everything away trying to look for Void Trapper and Attack Craft, right? Because the 0-3 doesn't do too much against Organ because like they're not gonna play it.
We got
Oh
2
shit,
coins.
okay. Now we have a play.
So in this matchup, is it Bank Adira still, or do we hold Adira because we know we're hitting great units?
Honestly, this thing is like one of those times like if you're playing against normal organ, you never bang Adira. If you're playing against Uni, you can debate to bang Adira. So because this is like a ranked game and everything, I'm personally I'm more greedy. I would like to bang my card draw
No,
personally.
yeah, let's do
Because
it.
Adira I like yeah, because if it's normal organ, the Adira high roll is like game winning, right? Like if you hit the high roll, you always win. But if it's like Uni, right, it gets rid of 3 cards in your deck. If you happen to hit one of the ladies, you're chilling. If you're not, if you don't hit ladies, if you happen to hit like a diplomat or a hacker or Wong, okay, now we know it's normal organ, so good play by us. It could be goodbye to the attack craft. It's probably right to say goodbye to the attack craft, but it's just that doing 2 into 3 into coin brand feels super smooth, right?
Yeah, let's
And
do it.
attack craft is a card draw, but yeah, I think this is better. But personally, I would debate on that a little bit because there is a world that we just bang a Dira, play attack craft on 3, coin the brand on 4, and then that is enough pressure to just win the game without the Dira, you know? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so like in situations like this, I guess the attack craft was arguably quite good, right? Because like your Vibe Trapper would have been still alive. Okay, right now this is tough. I will keep the Siphon in hand, by the way. I will keep the Siphon in hand.
So bank
I will
the
bank the demo and double coin the brand. Yeah. The reason for this is because you kind of want to siphon the shield pot so that you can get rid of the 2/2 the turn later.
what?
So we always
So why
I think
wouldn't
we
you?
always get the brand out.
Why wouldn't you Adira here? Just because you don't have another
Because your
play?
Adira gets you don't have a follow-up.
Okay.
It's the main reason is because you don't have a follow-up and your Adira basically dies and you hand them a free turn, right?
Okay.
Whereas if you do this, his answer would be solitary confinement, right? And solitary confinement is 4 mana. So regardless, you're always gonna get a 1 hit in with Brand. And if he happens to play like stuff like, for example, what other good answers are there? It can be kill switch. Kill switch also lets you like spawn units already, right? So like, okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. Okay, now we have ourselves a debate. Personally, I am a fan of just getting rid of all the units. Like I don't care about the turret, right? So I would bang the Siphon and play the erasure on the shield bot. As stupid as it looks. Yeah, play the erasure. There's a reason why I would rather play the erasure over the Siphon here actually.
What?
It's one thing that no one thinks about and you probably don't even need to think about. If your deck happens to run out of cards, erasure is always a better draw than Siphon. Like you rather have the erasure go to your waste.
Oh, okay. That's what you're saying. Okay. So if you're out of cards,
chance that the game goes to protect. Yeah.
Okay. All right. No, that's not. Well, hey, you said you're a late game player, so that makes a lot of sense. I think we're losing Brand here.
Yeah. It's a very far-fetched thing. Yeah. Honestly, I'm fine if we lose Brand here because we spawn two units, right? Okay, let's play M-Test.
Playing Wong.
M-Test is fine. Wong? Okay. I'm fine with Wong.
So we get 2. I mean, we can also Adira it too.
Okay, so
turn, right?
okay, but an important fact about this matchup is you are the one that's putting the pressure in this matchup because the organ, you do not want to give organ too much time. You want to be the one that kill them. Depending on what he does here, he's probably gonna go for 2 damage. Oh, he goes for defender. Okay, so for me, this is okay. Personally, because of him having the turret on board, I will bank the skip because Estos is a good turn 6 unit to come out if you do not hit anything. But it could be debated by some people. So what play I like to do here, you always do Adira and hit face with the Adira. And if you happen to hit a good unit like a Sesmere or something, you're golden, right? If you do not hit Sesmere, like it's fine. Oh, okay, we have card draw. Yeah, 100% researcher. We have card draw, we take the card draw. We are low on cards, we see card draw, we take. Okay, something to mention here. When you review cards, right, try to review non-valuable cards in the matchup. So yeah, you can review. Yeah, expected attack from a Siphon.
Okay, I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like it's something that people don't talk about. Like I think Lamby mentioned it quite a lot. It's like
and we're just
the
running
things that
into
people review
Juggernaut?
really matters because you hide info. Yeah, double hit to Juggernaut. Yep. Now this time is gonna be so damn awkward for him though, because like
Yeah, he needs some PS8s and stuff.
one
Right?
damage is not something Organ can just pull out like easily, right? And Adira is a higher demand target than any of the other guys. So he has to, if his hand isn't very strong, he has to waste a 6/6 attack into a 2/2, which is like not too bad for him, but it's also like you'd rather him doing that than killing like high attack with yourself.
Yeah. Sirene's probably pretty bad here.
Yeah, but
Clearly
honestly,
he doesn't have
you
it.
were in that position where you couldn't. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected to see. So right here, personally,
Asto.
I think we
Pain.
can.
So my play would be just to trade. Siphon feels bad, but like I mean, I don't want to really. I don't want to lose another unit, so I would just probably play Glaive and Siphon. Or if
Yeah, I like Glaive and Siphon as well. It's just thinking, what's the bank, right? Because I like banking unseen because we run 2, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I still like banking unseen actually. Then you just hold your other unseen for the like very late game.
Yeah.
The reason why I like Siphon here is because it puts the M-Tef into Siphon first.
Wait, Siphon what?
Okay,
Oh,
the
Siphon
reason why you
first?
Siphon first instead of attacking first. Yeah.
Oh, because it
Siphon
goes
first
in
because
first.
the attack will buff the M-Tef.
Oh, I see. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Got it.
Yeah.
So these are
It's something that
things-
most people miss, but it's actually like pretty impactful because like if your M-Tef gets big enough to like maybe one shot a 5/6, right? Like they have the Ruthless Juggernaut. If it happens to one shot, that's the draw that we need right now, honestly. Like that's what I was looking for when I was like thinking of what to do.
No, but yeah, this
And
but
one
this
thing
totally
that's
makes
so
sense.
cool
Yeah,
about-
Siphon before you
Yeah.
attack to get because we want to buff these units. Where the M-Tab would be 5 right now if we did it correctly. So
Okay, hopefully it's M-Tef miss.
he gets ramshackle.
Okay, that's very bad for us. That's really bad for us. Really very bad for us. Tough. Okay, not as tough anymore. Actually, it's still kind of tough. It is still kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie.
What if we? No, we don't have enough. So we play this. That's 4. It's gonna be 3. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Damn. Was it a mistake to bank that? Nice. I think it wasn't a mistake, but I guess the play is. Damn. God damn it.
Yeah, it's like we're either playing Eclipse Fate or banking it, right? Because you want to put 2 units
Okay,
on the board.
well. Now, honestly, I think it's just you bank half and play the double tour, and then you pass it and hope they draw demo. Because there is a word that we play unseen, but the unseen is just so weak right now. Because it doesn't have a good follow up the turn after. Like there is a word with unseen here,
Oh shit!
and then we play like.
Oh, he has Defender. Damn
Yes,
it. Well, maybe he'll let it through.
yeah.
Okay.
Now it doesn't feel as strong anymore. He let it through.
He let it through.
Okay then. Okay. Well, Loki unseen can be a play though because he can bring out an M-Tap.
Do you want? Should we play it?
Oh my god, I don't like it though. Yeah, I think just play it. Fuck it. Yeah, we play. We play and then we play M-Tap next turn, hoping for an M-Tap high roll with the overclock, I guess. This just feels.
Yeah, because that's our only.
Remember I
that's our
mentioned
only-
that the break potential of. Remember I mentioned that you don't really break as much on Teoli. I'm wrong.
Yep. See. Well, I mean, we still have a chance for some draws.
But honestly, this is still fine. One thing that we will want to
Worst case scenario, we can play 2, right?
hit off the M-Tef, we could either hit the one cost that draws a card, right? That's like pretty good. We can hit any buffs because it probably allows you to clear. Okay, that's annoying. That's our Eclipse Fate target, by the way. That's actually our Eclipse
Yeah,
Fate target.
that's what we
Not
want.
the relic.
Let's say, yeah. We
But
still
the thing is,
have
we played the Unseen Allies.
one demo too, I think, because we banked 1, correct?
Yeah, but honestly, our list was already very bad into Organ. Like we didn't expect to play into Organ, you know.
He played this.
Damn.
Wait, what? Oh, he has
Bro,
Vox.
that's-
He got Vox Tech drones, bruh. What a high roll.
Now that is like, that's actually what the fucking thing.
Are we still Eclipse fading and playing these two? Like, I guess what's the...
Does that change anything? No, it does. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Wait, let me think. Oh, this is tough. Okay, I think we always bring out the MF first, right? Wait, okay, let me think.
MTAV is
Is it
5. We have 8. Or we have 9, so we have to Teoli if we do. But then MTAV is not gonna... MTAV will just trade the 5/5 and die.
Oh, okay. I think we have.
Oh, we can siphon this.
Okay, no, we PS8 the 5/5. We PS8 the 5/5, and then we hope the MTF hits the 5/5.
Are we just letting it trade, or are we overclocking?
We're overclocking for one. For one, and we need a high roll. Like either a card draw or like something along the lines of a card draw. Does that draw card? I saw one. Okay.
Oh, it's an edge.
Fuck, we missed. Okay. Now, wow. Now do we actually have to Eclipse Fit this? Oh my god. Do we actually have to bank the Eclipse Fit here? I think we do. I think we no snitch, bank, and then coin out the Alvaro, bro. This feels so weak, but it's like the only play that makes sense. Cause like that unit having arm is gonna fuck us up too much. Like this is such a bad position right now. We need to hit like runner, brand expertise into Wong, you know. That is fine, I guess. If we have a unit alive. Yeah. This is like unlucky game.
This
I'm
is just
speechless
survived
that he
so
let that
long.
go to the face. Yeah, because it's unclearable right now.
This ramshackle is some bullshit.
Damn, he's playing Tavasta, bro. Macaroni knows what's up, man. Okay, honestly, let's just blame this game on unlucky Adira rogues. Yeah, okay,
He does not want to get
Yeah,
rid
I
of
think
this.
we-
He just it's just funny to me. Demo? Well, bank this.
I guess you just bang the belt player Adira and pass, I guess. Okay, what draws do we even have that can win?
Debo. That's about it.
I know, we can draw Triumph of the Lord. Gets a relic and a Tavasta. Okay, I guess Demo is our only good draw, right? Hope he overcommit something. If you draw a Demo plus Void Trapper. Oh, it's over. We're cooked. We're cooked.
Floated 6. Guess he's prepping for Demo.
Yeah.
That's my guess. Look at that. We hit it.
But here's a very big issue that we have. We banked our other unseen allies already. So like even after this demo we don't really have any follow up.
Do we bank Stewart?
Okay, but we can bank
probably?
Stewart, the demo. Yeah.
I don't play Void
Then we get the
Traveler.
trapper out. Yeah. This is a little bit sad because like remember I mentioned the unseen allies being a 3x because you end up banking one and then you want to have it late game. This is
Yeah.
like the example of what I mean.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like we can't do everything, right? We can't like cover every matchup. Like we didn't expect to play against Organ or like Shroud. We were like taking more for like Catty, City and all that. We played against earlier and we won, so I'll take it as a win. We beat Cat. Okay, now we're really cooked.
I mean, if we don't play any more effects for the rest of the game, we should be fine, right?
Honestly, I think the best thing you can do right now is we're cooked.
Sensory links engaged.
Actually, honestly, are we cooked? He just gave us 2 free units to get from the Salvation. Just Salvation, Alvaro, and 1-2, right? Okay, I think the line that we have that we can possibly win with, honestly, it sounds a bit crazy. Like, it sounds really crazy, but it's really... Your top deck is scheming later,
Sensory links
and you
engaged.
get, like, a Tetsu or something, and you somehow...
Well, we bank scheming.
Yeah, but we run one scheming only, right?
Yeah, we only.
Oh
run
yeah.
one.
Fuck this deck list, bro. Who's the guy who made this deck list? Come on, dude.
Oh yeah, it's because you wanted
Yeah,
Harf.
bro.
That's why I can see like you take out Harf.
Yeah.
To get either an extra unseen allies or maybe.
Wait. He's giving us an out. Wait, he's giving us an out, guys. He's giving us an out. Like, seriously, he's actually giving us an out.
What's that?
Okay, he's not giving us an out. But,
Oh, the triumph.
not looking too hot. I'm gonna go fuck this Alvaro, bro. You gotta take 6. And there's 4 from the turrets. You gotta take 10. Fuck. Okay, I mean, we lost anyway. It's just draw, I
2,
guess.
4. Yeah, that's so much damage. Yeah, plus the. Oh god, that's so. I should have probably. Nope. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it mattered.
There's the TOE.
Damn, we actually hit the triumph, bro.
Or
We
the
actually hit
triumph.
the triumph, bro.
So we just die.
Bro, like, if the Alvaros wasn't on board, like, he actually gave us an out, right? Because, like, we can triumph into Sesmere, and then, like, that can kind of carry the game because he's, like, running low on cards.
Yeah.
Okay, god damn it.
That's
But
funny.
this is really, like, we have a list that really doesn't beat slow decks, and we play against a slow deck, so, like, nothing we can do about it.
But yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay, all
That's what
good.
we can do. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you didn't have to, but I think you gave a lot of good insight into like your professional like mindset and your strategy, and I think it's very valuable information. And hey, I'm sure people will enjoy watching it.
Thanks, man.